Friends, if you're looking for real old school laughs, you're in for a treat because we've got them right here. Flip City Magazine. Remember Mad Magazine? Then it went woke? Well, don't worry. Flip City has no chance of going woke. That's right. 4 times a year, you'll get an actual printed magazine full of jokes, stories, comics, and more, all about today's pop culture, entertainment, and woke politics. Flip City takes terrible entertainment trends we love to hate with hilarious parodies of Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, The Walking Dead, Star Trek, Hunters, and more. Trust me when I say there is nothing else like Flip City on the market. So subscribe today. It will be delivered in print, or you can even get it digitally if you're one of those wacky Zoomers. Either way, follow our link and sign up today, and if you put in midnight, you get an extra 10% off. Check out Flip City Magazine today. Good evening and welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'm Tom Connors. Welcome to the program. We are here. We're live. We have with us tonight Mr. Clobberin' Times. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing great, sir. Thanks for having me here. It's great to see you all, my good friends, and on the panel in the chat. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. And also we have, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a moment since I've got you. We have a new sponsor, guys, and I'm excited about this sponsor. This is somebody I've actually used and bought stuff through many times. And look at this. They got your bust right here, buddy. And it's an outlet deal.
Oh, my.
You get a hell of a deal on that right now. That's right. Entertainment Earth is now one of our sponsors here at Midnight.
Dude, no way.
There you go. There's the link. If you use this link right now that's in the chat that I just threw in the chat here, you will help us out here at the program. That's right. And I will be throwing up toys all the time when I see neat stuff to let you guys know stuff I buy myself.
Cool.
Of course, I'm probably going to do a few more toy reviews than I normally do, but yeah,
No,
so I was really excited about that, man. That's awesome.
Oh,
and there
yeah.
you go. There you can get a bust of Clobby right there. It's a good likeness of you.
I was in a pretty good mood when I posed for that one. So you can see that.
You have smiled.
Of course, they said something dumb about something, and I went, "What the?" And boom. I didn't have to post for it long. We just snapped the picture, said, "We got you." We can work from that. So, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
You
got
sure you guys
Steve,
want another shot? But then they said, "No, this is good."
Steve's in the chat here. I think you're going to be joining us shortly here, so I can't wait to talk to you. But we also have today with us CC Karaoke from Canada. How are you doing, good sir?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Maybe a little overworked lately.
Oh, yeah?
I had some plan changes that forced me to do a month's worth of work in a few days. So, but it's good. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, and I got to agree with E-Clay. Don't put that up your butt.
Why would
In
you?
fact, don't put anything you buy off the internet up your butt. You don't know where it's been.
That's a good policy. I mean,
That's
as
a
a
good
rule.
policy to have.
No.
I mean, we also have joining us Mr. Rancor Steve. How are you doing today, good friend?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. We're doing like a stream here, and you got one usually on Thursday nights as well, don't you?
Yes, I do on Rumble.
That's right, and that starts in how long from now?
Oh, I got 2-3 hours, something like that.
Okay, so it's a little bit yet. Okay, so
yeah,
we'll throw me the link in the private chat, and I'll make sure everybody gets that. But you guys may recognize Rancor Steve from the Pop Culture Breakdown and all that kind of business. But you have your own channels, and I do suggest people check them out. You guys do some really fun stuff over there with all the videos you guys do, and you and Gary do some great work together. And we're glad to have you on here tonight to hear your thoughts about all the stuff we're going to talk about, which is I don't know what yet, other than Ninja Turtles. So I apologize for that, but yeah.
Yeah. Hail, Steve. What's up, bud?
hail.
Welcome, welcome. And also with us tonight, another Canadian. We have Script Doctor. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a beautiful day where I am. Clear skies, clear air. Sorry for all you U.S. guys with getting the forest fire smoke. It's skipping us. But yeah, other than that,
lucky.
really good.
Also, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. All 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. How are you doing, man?
Well, after a little over a week, I finally come, and it feels good. So thanks for your patience. Hello,
Finally.
chat. I know. I'm sorry, Tom. Sometimes, some things are just, I was a late bloomer with this one. Look at Cece. Hello. Hello, chat. Hello, Wrenches. What's up, Script, CC, Tom, Clobby. And good to meet Rancor Steve. Steve, I see your Chuck Norris poster, and on my channel, we just did a whole month of Chuck Norris movies we were talking about.
Ooh.
One of them was Invasion USA. So I'm just like,
it's one of my favorite movies.
dude,
Toxic Tuesday is
so
a show
good.
that you would probably enjoy quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like he would blend right in. We gotta get him on just off what's on his table on behind him. So we gotta
Absolutely.
talk. A pleasure to
Oh,
meet you.
definitely.
officially.
Same here, man.
Yeah. And nobody can prove that Sarah Connor is not his mother.
Who knows? I am adopted, so.
That's right. Rancor Steve. Come with me if you want to
Where
live.
the law stops.
I can only hope and dream.
But all right, kids. Thank you everybody for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Share out the stream. Speaking of thumbs up, we've got What's Your First Thought with the first super chat of the night. He sends in a super sticker with a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Cosmic Plains sends in $10. Says neo-Marxist feminism is perfectly fine with contradictions because you always need to be a victim no matter what. Why? That is why Barbie has conflicting plot points. That is literally how they think. And I can't argue with this. This is a part of the perplexing
Nature of the film, yeah.
nature of the film. Thank you, Script. Yeah, and just the reason why I think there's so many disagreements, arguments, discussions, you name it. And we're going to try not to do that today because guess what? All of us here are sick of Barbie. So,
Oh God, yeah.
I haven't seen it, and I'm sick of it.
Me
So I
either.
can't wait to not talk about it.
yeah. I need to start getting sick of TMNT. So SXHBK says, I used to think Grace looked good for a woman in her late 40s. Then I found out she's 36. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Grace here in just a minute, too. Warrior Justice says, the new TMNT movie sequel will have April going through puberty, teaching the turtles about the secret of the G-spot and ooze. Hey, everyone. Oh.
That's a bit
On
much.
that rendition of April, there probably is no G-spot. She's an ocean you gotta swim through to find it.
Ooh. Well, and here's the thing. I don't know if you guys heard this already because we covered this on the morning show at the very end the other day, but this new Ninja Turtles already has a sequel, greenlit, and a TV series,
That's
greenlit.
bad
What?
Yeah.
because they have no idea if the movie is actually going to resonate with audiences. Why are you jumping the gun
Yeah.
with that? I mean, listen, if they were to do a
You know what
show
this
first
reminds
and not
me
have
of?
this movie, then you're like, okay, so they're making an attempt at a show. Cool. Wish them well. But now there's like, we did the movie and it looks like they greenlit the show and stuff probably in tandem with that, where if the executives seeing the dailies or seeing the assembly cuts or in the final stages of the edit, we're like, yeah, we're pulling the trigger on a TV show. We think this is going to be great. I worry because executives, the vast majority of them within the big 5 studios, don't really know what audiences are going to like. They shouldn't know what audience are going to like. They're enclosed. They don't use the proper market research metric that they did back before the turn of the century, actually.
Well, they're kind of amortizing basically this TV show and sequel with the production of the first movie at the end of the day is what they're doing.
Well, a lot of the assets they don't have to
Yeah.
recreate, so that makes
Exactly.
it more cheaper, yeah.
Which, in that case, I don't blame them. But on the other side of this, you're 100% right, Script. They better hope this shit works.
Yeah.
But we do know somebody who enjoyed it, and that was Grace Randolph. So let's hear her take on it real quick.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
she
you
has
guys
good
don't
taste.
really want to listen. Yeah, and there's a reason why I brought this up, because she also tells us how she feels about the original film.
I am not a Sonic fan, I'm not a Super Mario Brothers fan, and I'm not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. But
And that's
these have
red
all
flag
had
number 1.
Very successful film adaptations. So with Sonic, I thought those films were pretty good. I couldn't get into them as much as fans could, but I found them entertaining for what they were. With Super Mario Brothers, of course, as you know, I felt that film was very inaccessible to non-fans, but of course, there are more than enough Nintendo fans that they don't need anybody else to join the party. But when it comes to this, well, and I think that the past Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, by the way, have been for me more like the Sonic films. And I think Sonic is a touch better. But this Teenage
Yeah, I think that's enough. That's
My ears are bleeding.
Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem. Oh, I loved this movie. I thought it was phenomenal as a fan of genre storytelling. But I think if I was a child, this movie would blow my mind. Oh my goodness. If you know any child, you should take them to this because they are just going to have such a special experience. And not only will they be entertained, but I think it will introduce them to the world of art. Isn't that cool that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie would do that?
Yes, cool.
introduce them to the world of art. They're kids. If they like cartoons, they're already there.
Go find a random child and bring them to this movie, and it'll change their life.
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted all this time.
Give a kid a piece of paper and some crayons. See if they don't draw something.
I called her a dirt. So it's probably good that I was muted. But anyway, no, like the fact that she loves this movie tells me everything I need to know right about it. Everything I need to know. And exactly how she felt about the original. She's not a fucking fan. So the fact that she loved this tells me this thing is going to be a goddamn train wreck. And I got to go see it Saturday.
Yikes.
Nick, that depresses me more than anything is that you're not going to be able to go see it Saturday and talk with us about it.
You know, for once, I'm actually glad I got something that like conflicts with it because of how horrified I am by this. Because it's like, wow, I
want you to suffer with me, motherfucker.
Okay, I get your point. That's fair. But it's just like I look at Arya and I'm just like, Arya, I'm so glad your best friend has her birthday party.
You're so lucky.
So I'm gonna, and her dad makes good barbecue. So I'm just saying.
Not acceptable.
Time to be drunk, huh?
Not acceptable. You've got to see it, Nick.
Oh,
no, if I wasn't doing this party, I actually would go. I really would. But and I even said, "Hey, there are screenings?" And they're like, "Oh nope, this is the only one." I'm like, "Oh, crud." Yeah, it's maybe that's a sign.
Oh no, we know what that means. Ladies, hold on to your vaginas.
No,
he's here.
No, turn the thing off. No.
What is this?
No, you're embarrassing me. Turn it off.
But Steve hasn't heard it yet.
Well, he can send him the link.
Oh boy.
But I am going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Saturday.
Yes, you are. You're going to suffer along with me. That's right. We're going to be reviewing it on the main channel as soon as we get back. Yes.
Primetime action.
Prime time Saturday afternoon. As soon as we get back from the theater, it's going to be you, myself, Six, I believe, is going to be joining us thus far. I'm not sure who else has been able to find tickets yet, but
what about Andre?
I don't think it's playing over there for him, and I'm
Why
sure he's
not,
because he also told me he's like, "This is your domain."
That is unacceptable. If I have to watch He-Man, he has to watch the Ninja Turtles.
He has zero care for Ninja Turtles. You know that.
Does he really? Oh, wow.
He's not a big fan of that.
It's not in my top 5 fandoms, but it's in my top 10 for sure.
Oh, no. Yeah. So yeah, we just watched Grace's review of Ninja Turtle, or quick review anyway. Warrior Justice says the only fan Grace is OnlyFans. Please do not.
Wow. I bet she has. You think she has an OnlyFans?
And on that note, bass player 2011, if he says, how does she get views? Oh no, if she did, we'd know about it. Mecha J says, how does Grace have this much clout? Your guess is as good as mine. She worked with Marvel in the promotion department or some shit
long ago
for like a whole of 2 days. Yeah. No, it was a little longer than that. But yeah, so she made a few connections, but otherwise she's just a Disney suck up for the most part, and I don't get it. Yeah. She was buddies with Zack Snyder. That also gave her a little bit of boost. And
Well, Zach
Hey.
would say give anyone who gave him attention
yeah, I know.
to promote his stuff. I mean, come on, we've seen him pop
No,
up on
but
a
she
number
was
of
like
other
one of the
YouTube channels
first.
that are across all sorts of subscriber levels of influence.
No, but she was one of the first, and a small little angry man inside of me wants to believe that the whole reason James Gunn is giving her so much shit is just because fucking Zach platformed her so much. It's like, fuck this bitch.
Do I have to?
Even when she's right, I'm still gonna say she's fucking wrong.
I actually
Yes.
looked up how old she was. She's
36.
my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she
sounds
was in
like
her
an
40s
old
too.
smoker.
Well, it's the fact that she applies makeup like a crazy lady in her 40s or a kid that hasn't learned how to apply makeup.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
her
true.
voice drives me
Oh.
so. It's like Valley Girl, but like just worse.
Rancor Steve.
Oh.
Oh,
Save
man.
us all.
You know what's funny about Grace is
Nothing.
yeah, that too.
Well,
Mr. H actually had me write a little opening jingle thing for Grace. Let me see if I can get it to play here. Yeah, here we go. So, what kind of dumb shit did Grace say this week? Does it work?
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it.
Nice.
yeah.
It should be her ringtone.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like I'm one of the few people that has given her so much shit online that she hasn't blocked yet, and I don't understand why.
I think she listens. She's probably listening right now, I believe.
She might be.
Hey, Grace.
I don't think you're being very fair to my opinions, Tom.
Hi,
I
Grace.
asked her one time how much was the check. She blocked me. I was like, okay.
See, I was gonna say, yeah, you're one of the examples, right? Like, I've said a hell of a lot worse shit to her than that.
Oh yeah, it makes no sense.
So
Maybe it's just a matter of who she catches at that point in time. I mean, time.
Point in time.
Make that about Tom.
Point in time. I like that. Disney Sheep Herder has become a member at the minimum effort puppy level. Thank you so much. And for those who may not know, when we get a new member here, we do a sticker or a video is what we call them stickers. But here you go. Here's your minimum effort puppy. You burned it. There you go. He's giving the bare minimum.
Minimum puppy.
As you say, that's Bambino.
Fuck, Bambino's like no effort. Fucking puppy. Fuck. You might as well put up. You want to put up a sheet of white paper. That's Bambino's day.
Yeah. So, in a follow-up story, real quick, you guys may remember we talked about the Jason Aldean song. Like it was like last week.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
The country song, yeah. The try that in a small town.
Yeah.
Well, the media is trying to spin now that Jason bent the knee and took out the BLM video that was in it. Well, it turns out that wasn't necessarily the case either. What happened is they thought they had the clearance for all these videos, but some news organization owned one of the BLM videos, so they had to pull it from the video. So just an update there. Yeah. But the media is trying to spin it as him bending the knee. So,
No. Crap.
Yeah, but
I'm
really, there
listening
was
to that song. There's nothing bad about that song at all.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Only the pansies.
I'd say the only thing bad about it is the fact that dude backed down.
I don't think he did. That's what I was saying. Is he didn't have to.
Has he said anything? Because
No, he defended himself. He said the song came out in May. He's like, I don't understand.
I'm talking about the video. The video that it got edited. The rights.
That's what we were just talking
out.
about. Is what happened was they thought they had the clearance for all the videos because in the music video itself, all the footage that's in there is actual footage from the riots and BLM movement shit and all that stuff.
Yes.
And I guess they thought they had the clearance for everything, but I guess some news organization had the rights to one of the videos, so they had to cut that bit, and it just so happened to be a BLM video. So now the media is spinning it as
it wasn't
exactly.
by his will. Okay.
Yeah, the media is spinning it as he did.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I could come up with a more offensive song like instantly. Here, you guys ready?
Sure.
Yes.
Hold on. Me. Okay, ready? Country western. All right. She got big, strong teeth and big, strong legs. I love her like my horse.
I think that song already exists.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh,
Get it?
that's my ringtone.
You might
I
want to
actually
try that.
wrote a song that's safe for CMT.
Got big, strong teeth and big, strong legs. I love her like my horse.
And I
I
played
like
it.
it.
I played it on the
The
comics.
doctor's
division.
like, and he's fired.
But yeah, I don't know if we got time, we can listen to it. Not that we have anything else to talk about.
What are you talking about? We have a whole agenda.
Like
Well,
what?
the word
I
on
don't
the
know,
street
it's
is that
me.
the
Don't you
Marvels
look
might
up?
get delayed again.
Good.
That'd be so. I hope it does, just so that means
I hope
they'll
it keeps
bomb that
getting
much
delayed
harder.
until it doesn't come out, and they're just like, people are like, "What happened to the Marvels movie?" And they're like, "What Marvels movie?"
That'll be even better because the
I'm gonna
fact
go
that
watch
like if you know how I know they are so sure it's gonna come out in July, because when if you go by McDonald's, like currently for this month they're doing toys around that movie.
Yeah,
And they do that stuff. They set that stuff up in advance at least 7-8 months.
which I can't
So
believe
it's
they
not-
didn't. Yeah,
and they're still serving them by that. But to be fair, I'm thinking the reason why they didn't change it is because whatever they had for November, they already had picked out. So they now it gives you an idea of how far back they set these promotions up. It shows you there's a lot of playing even on the McDonald's promotion side of things. So I can imagine for McDonald's, they must be kind of like, oh, you bastards. Now that we have no movie to show for this. So yeah, it probably irks them too. And now they're just going to lose that much more money if they postpone again, which, man, I hope so. I want this to be the hugest bomb that's ever bombed. I mean, I want this to be like the Flash level bombs. So a man can dream.
You're mean.
Yeah. After that
Am
garbage, after that suckered invasion, so that probably.
Oh,
nobody's
dude,
watching
that show was an atrocity. I finished
So
that
bad.
finale.
so
this
many
morning with-
Galians in that movie
dude.
or
I
show.
watched it this morning.
It was bad.
And the explanation for James Rhodes was so bad.
Basically,
Oh,
this is not one superhero. You got You got Super Scrolls at the end for a few seconds.
Yes.
Basically, they boil down to being Super Scrolls, and they're not any characters anyone cares about. This show was horrible.
yes, it was
Boring
absolutely
garbage.
terrible. There's
Yeah.
dude, and when they could have actually made something, I guess you could say memorable or feel like it meant something when you saw the real James Rhodes, but instead they say he just wakes up. He could have said something like, "Tony, where's Tony?" He could have said something like that. That could have been like, "Oh crap," type of moment.
You get a better idea
Instead,
of how long he's been in prison.
Instead, he just says, "How long have I been out?" And so just some guy just says, "A long time." I'm just like, "That's it."
Would you
Well,
all
he's
you
still
got.
kind of
A long
paralyzed in the
time.
legs. That's it. Yeah.
Would you expect to see War Machine or something? Nah. They wasted their effects
Oh.
budget on a fight between two Super Scrolls in the last 5 minutes.
That no one gives a fuck about.
Nobody. But now that
I'm
girl
so
is the most
glad I
best.
didn't watch this.
That girl's the most powerful being on the Marvel
Hey,
universe
don't
right
ever
now.
watch it.
I just
Yes,
saw the
she has the
screenshot.
DNA
and
of
I
all
thought
the
it was a sex
superheroes.
scene.
Dude, Fury. Like, I thought we've seen a lot of cucks in Marvel lately,
Oh, he's
but this
awful.
should have been called the cuckening, because this was the almightiest of cucks that ever cucked in Marvel.
So
And
what
the fact
it
that
was?
they did to this Sam Jackson Fury is like, bro,
awful.
really? It was. Don't watch it, folks. I'm not saying that as like reverse psychology. Like, I'm straight up like, if you value your life, if you have like self-respect, knowing how bad this is, and I know most of the times you shouldn't judge before you see, but I'm seriously, don't watch this. Go rewatch.
I don't think you have to worry about it, Nick. Nobody's watching
Go
it
watch
anyway.
Beavis and Butthead.
We're
Well,
the only
good.
one. And we're the only ones that watch it, dude. No one else did.
Well, and Goddess of Whim, she
Oh,
doesn't want you to spoil it for her.
I
So,
feel
yeah.
violated. Sorry, Goddess of Whim.
Wow,
I
somebody
just-
actually
I-
cares about the not getting spoiled
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
thing. Okay, cool. Say it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. That's fine.
What's up, XRL7 Mike? He's the man. Now watch his episodes. His stuff is cool.
Oh, is he in the chat?
Fuck.
Oh,
that
hey,
guy.
how's it going?
He writes
how you doing?
insightful content, and his animation is really deep,
Awesome.
profounding, and each episode leaves you something to think about in that whole how to think, not what to think. And it's entertaining. And a lot of people within our corner of YouTubes have done voiceovers, myself included on one episode. Definitely please subscribe to XRL7. Watch every episode, guys. It's great. And especially if there's anyone in the chat who's like a fan of like the first wave style of metalcore. He does that music stuff very well too, outside of the voice stuff and the pixel animation. So you get a little bit of everything packed into one smart package. So yeah, there's your endorsement, Mike.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Well, so I'm not so sure what we could talk about other than the Disney business that Mike kind of dropped earlier. Kind of goes along with his bounding interview,
Tell
so
me
we could
about your
probably talk a
business.
little
What
bit about
bounding
that.
interview?
I didn't
Or
contact
bounding,
out of my earnings call this morning.
Yeah, bounding into comics article, I should say. Did I say interview? I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Roomy,
What
Disney
article?
culture won't
Oh,
change
yeah.
because employees are silenced. Executives think they are too big to fail. Companies suffered massive brain drain. So yeah, you dropped a nugget earlier here on WDW Pro's show, Mike. If you want to reiterate that now for our audience and for those who may not have heard it.
Yeah, I didn't see this article because I've been out working all day. I literally like drove in at 6:30. Well, just three things. One is that the tension in Burbank at the home office is incredibly hot and high, and the editorial that was released by the Wall Street Journal, according to a guy I know who told me this over the phone, I've known him since 2005. He said that they got the home office was alerted that this was going to drop, but they weren't able to stop it from dropping. This is the wokeness editorial from the Wall Street Journal. He further shared that some Hollywood agencies had contacted people that work in the executive ranks on the studio side of Disney and said to please relay the message to Mr. Iger, to Bob, that to not make the comments of the nature that he did while the strike negotiations are in motion. And when I say agents, I'm talking about the agents that are supposed to represent talent, but more often than not, in reality, because the nature of the relationship with the studios, there's sort of a dual agency there. And frankly, if you've ever met any of these agents that work at these agencies, they really work for themselves primarily, as evidenced. I learned the hard way when I got to know some of the post-production projects I worked on, and I got to know some of the talent that was on those projects, finding out that some of their agents don't actually bring all the projects to them to which they might be invited because the agents themselves aren't particularly well compensated and they want to hold out the talent. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But
I could elaborate on that later, but
all
continue
right,
on.
script. Maybe you can add on to that part later. But what happened is this is the scoop. The scoop is the matter is that most of the money all money doesn't move in Hollywood in terms of film projects without agents involved. Agents represent the talent. They interface with the studios and the casting directors. And this is where deals are made. So essentially now what's happened is that in addition to Bob pissing off the talent and Bob obviously frustrating the financial markets, Bob frustrating obviously all of us, Bob is now frustrating some of the largest power brokers in Hollywood who are the representatives of the talent. And according to this person who I spoke with, who again I've known since 2005 and has given me maybe about 4 or 5 other nuggets in the last couple of years, and he's never been off, is that 3 different execs were contacted and representing a half dozen very visible A-list. I can't say which agencies that made these calls, and I can't say which executives were called because that would definitely like expose who told me this. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to piss off the agents, and I think Bob. Look, now I'm going to go into my read of the situation. Having seen Bob interview the last 3 to 6 months since he's come back, I think he's under so much stress that he's not being he's struggling with being articulate, deliberate, and choosing what he says, how he says it, when he says it, and where he says it, not realizing that there are so many segments that his comments could be interpreted by, and that has ramifications. Script, did you want to talk a little bit more about the agents and their role a little bit? Can you add on?
Yeah, so we're talking about Brian Lord and Ari Emanuel, two of the biggest players there. If it's not them, it's definitely people that are very, very close to them within the industry that are quite upset to this. Agents, when they think they have a hot talent, they're only looking for the biggest paying jobs for their clientele, and not necessarily the jobs that will actually build their clientele's career or reputation with an audience. And as a result, a lot of people like myself or even other executives, we go around the agents because they will screen us for if we have projects that fit right within the wheelhouse of the talent in question. So, for instance, let's say hypothetically speaking, I had a project for Robert Downey Jr. that he has made several comments through interviews and stuff of types of roles he'd love to play. But if I were to present that project to his agent, he would never get a hold of it because it would be most likely an independent or low budget project. So as a result of that, and actors do find this out much later, as a result of that, they don't get to do that role. They don't get to have fun entertaining. So what you have to do is you have to build a rapport with them either through a festival circuit or a press junket or something, and get a direct line to say, hey, here's the script, or here's my pitch. And if they end up liking it, then they open up communications. And then afterwards, they pretty much tell their agents, I am doing this. Now do your job as agents and negotiate a deal that's within their budget. And the agents reluctantly do this. They don't like it because they're not able to get, if Robert Downey Jr.'s quote is $22 million for a film, they're not going to get that off an independent film that I would pitch to him. So, and the other part too, and this is also the other frustrating aspect, Robert Downey Jr., Will Ferrell, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, any of those big names that you've heard over the last years, they all have production houses and production companies, and a lot of their staff, they're tasked with going out to find scripts to present to their those actors directly to get around the agent. And a lot of the times they butt heads. And that is why you're seeing a lot of stagnation in regards to a lot of the roles of the A-list actors, because they're not doing the stuff that they really want to do. Because agents want to control what it is that their clients do and how much that they get paid. And that is actually antithetical to the role of the agent. The role of the agent is to find as much work as possible for their client, get their 10%, and make their clients happy because they work for the actors and they work for the writers. But they don't, because they've gotten so big and because they are a network industry, they feel that they are justified in controlling what their actors do and what jobs their actors take. So that's the basic dichotomy of that relationship. So yeah.
And then are you familiar, Script, with the comments that Bob made about what he said about the talent?
That what they're asking for was unreasonable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's your read on what my contact at Disney said? Like, why would that piss off agents? Why would that?
Because they're asking for a larger take on their minimum basic agreement, which benefits agents because that means that they start from a higher point of negotiating. So if the residual percentage is going to be 11% for the first year, as opposed to the traditional 5%, that's 6% more that the agents can take their cut from on their talent when they're in the negotiating pool. Especially if they have new hot talent that doesn't have a high quote yet, but still is on the rise. They're getting an extra boost there, and agents need that. That is why, oddly enough, you haven't heard anything from the agents of either the writers or actors against the strike. They're actually quite supportive of it because it's their clientele, and they know that if there's money on the table to be had, they need their clients to get it because they get that as well. And they're actually also very lucky that a revised deal was done with writers a few years ago regarding packaging, because those agencies would have also been playing as production companies, which some agencies are, like 3 Art Entertainment and even Endeavor to a degree. They would eventually have become struck companies if they got bigger, if those packaging deals weren't renegotiated and revised with their talent. So then it'd be not just the actors and writers against the studios, it'd also be actors and writers against the studios and a couple of agencies.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
And keep in mind, these are usually only on the side of like the bigger, talented agencies out there. A lot of the medium and lower tier ones, the ones that actually like, try to get work, they don't care about the types of jobs. As long as they're getting their clients work, they're happy. And if the clients are happy with the work, they're happy. It's only when they start getting a higher profile and then they start getting poached to the larger agencies, that's where complications come in. That's where basically you could be represented by, say, Gersh, pretty decent agency in the industry. And if your agent gets hired by CAA, and along with them, you are a client of theirs and you go with them to CAA, there might be a chance where you find out in a couple of months or maybe a year, that the person that you were with at Gersh, who then got brought into CAA, well, they're not your agent anymore. This other person who's a bit more high profile, but more important is your agent because they can get you more jobs. And then you find out, they're not getting you more jobs. They're just getting you less jobs, but they're higher paying.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, Steve, I want to get your reaction to all this because you have a bit of a unique perspective on some of this stuff too, working near the industry and in the industry and stuff like that. So, yeah, what's your perspective on all of this?
My background is not really the actor side, although that's like the drama queen of film industry. It is
Right.
like it's all except when you get actors who do like actual legit producing, like Tom Cruise, Robert Downey Jr., and make their own studios and do independent stuff. That's cool. I think actors should do that because not many actors get to act really. So just make your own studio. But my I have a close friend of mine. They told me that they just fired 48% of their employees because of everything going on. And they told me, yeah, we're running away. Every studio that's like gets, I guess, like you would call it subcontracted into working for Disney, they're running away. They're like, we don't want to do business with you anymore. So it's really like Bob is not making it very easy.
Wow, that's
for anyone.
actually kind of that's pretty telling, actually, Steve. That much of them are saying no to business. Yeah.
Well, it's
You'll
basically
get some
saying getting
people,
away from the failing business and look for something else, right? Essentially.
yes. So I think you'll get some studios that will, or some companies that will work with Warner Brothers, Paramount, the bigger studios, and be like, you know what, it's a job. We'll just do it because we need money, and which is okay. It's you kind of have to wheel and deal and trying to make a living somehow. I'm not gonna go like, oh, you gotta stand your ground, but sometimes if you have to work for a company and it's not that, it's going to be terrible, you got to bite the bullet sometimes. But with how Bob is making Disney out to be, especially in the entertainment side,
Right.
they're like, we can't do this. Like it's a gamble that you're not going to win. The house is going to win all the time with this one. So I talked to them more about how Hollywood is working out. They said Hollywood is dead. There's just nothing there anymore. And they said that everything is going independent. So it's going to be really interesting in the next few months how actors will kind of bridge away from the union and kind of do their own thing. I think we're going to see a new wave of film with all this.
I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I can't speak to that right now. But what I can speak to, I think, is just the simple fact that, you saying that 48% of these companies are like, nope, we don't want to do business anymore. Because part of the reason that people would want to do business before is, even though they never made a lot of money, from my understanding from Disney, is that it was the prestige factor. It was the fact that you could put it on your resume. It was all these things. And we were starting to hear this already last year and maybe even further back than that, where people were kind of saying like, look, it's just not worth it to have it on my resume anymore to have worked for Disney, even if it is a Marvel production, because the damn thing flops anyway and it looks like crap. I don't want to be associated with it. So it's not even worth having it anymore as that kind of a incentive. So I can see people just kind of backing away, and it's a losing game right now for Disney in this situation, it sounds like to me.
Well, the 48% is my friend's company. they let go 48% of the people. that
Oh,
work
okay,
for that
gotcha.
company.
Okay, I
Yeah,
misinterpreted
but
what the
he's
other thing
also
meant.
they also said that more studios that get
Right.
that come in to work for these different, like, you have like 4 or 5 different visual effects companies, or 4 or 5 special effects companies that work on a single movie. They're all like,
Mhm.
we're done, we can't handle you. And I guess they're doing the same thing to Warner Brothers now because of the whole Flash outbreak. And
Well, it
it's,
just
yeah,
still
they're
kind
all
of
like,
goes along with exactly what I was saying, though, and that is that
yeah,
again, it's more of a bad mark on your resume anymore to have worked on one of the MCU films than it is. It doesn't help you. And
oh
Cece,
yeah,
looks like you want to say something there. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to make a video game reference because reputation matters. And you look at what happened with Cyberpunk 2077 a couple of years ago, and what's happening right now is with Larian Studios. They have a really great reputation. They put out very, very popular games. But their upcoming game is Baldur's Gate 3. And the first 2 Baldur's Gate games are easily on the level of Star Wars in terms of
I thought they
gaming
were
and
calling
RPG
it Bear
history.
Fucker.
Well, but I mean, if Larian screws up Baldur's Gate 3, they're done. They will never recover from it. But if they make it one of the best games of all time, they can ride that for generations. And they know it. And unlike Disney and Star Wars, they are taking their time. That game has been in early access for 3 years now. They've taken all the fan feedback. They're determined to make this one of the best games of all time. And I suspect they're going to actually succeed on that. And you have to take the care. You have to take the care to know that your reputation is on the line, that it's not just how much you put out, it's what you put out. And I just going to Rancor's point, that's what's happening with Disney. Is
Right.
of course, people don't want to work with Disney if they think that no matter, if you're a talented visual effects artist or whatever it is you do, you're talented at it, and you know that taking on a contract, no matter how much talent you have, it's going to result in a bad product that's going to look bad on your reputation, on your resume. It's going to hurt your brand, your company. You don't want to. If you're smart, you're going to stop doing that. And I think that's what's happening with Disney.
You're going to have to be more selective with the type of work you take and understand the parameters of what you want. I mean, with Disney, it's like, yes, we're going to hire you onto this. You're going to be working with a bunch of your competitors at the same time, and your window is X amount of months. And then after that, you have a revision, which is even less than that, which means like, it doesn't matter how much good time you spend on making the initial stuff as good as possible. If they come in and want to change it, the window you have to revise it and re-render it and get it out there to meet quality standards is so small that you can't possibly achieve that with current day technology. And that's just going to actually hurt the reputation of your studio. The other part too, with regards to the blowback, is the fact that what we're seeing now is the result of almost a decade of the studio systems kind of gatekeeping out the independent creators who have been making themselves relatively valuable on the independent film market, but haven't been able to make any waves or break into it because there's far too many older people in the industry that don't want to be mentors to the next generation. They're not there. We don't have anyone that's going to come up and be another breakout director the way that Steven Spielberg was 50 years ago now. We don't have that guy anymore. They're trying to make Christopher Nolan it, but he's not succeeding in that epic level the way that Spielberg did. Where are those people? They're out there. We don't hear it because right now the way the market has been built in the studio system is that they can drown out all other competition on the independent side with their studio films and their dependency on IP and brand recognition. So this is going to be, if they don't get their act together soon, basically the walls are going to cave in, and then we're going to get a huge flood of it, and sorting through that as to what's actually proper talent based on their merit and just oversaturated other independent content is going to be really hard to sort out because it's been bottlenecked so much that you're just going to get a huge wave, and you're going to see all these great filmmakers, writers, directors, new actors, and you're going to try and pick every single one of them and place a bet on them. But because there's so many of them, it's an oversaturation of choice. So how do you filter that out? And also, how do you gauge a market with that when you have way more input than you can have the ability to provide output to your audience?
Yeah. And Jan N says, thinking you are too big to fail is how you fail. It almost sounds like I should say that like Yoda or something. Thinking you are too big to fail is how you fail. But yeah, no, and how is Nolan not succeeding? Oh, he's succeeding, but what I totally agree with what Script's saying. Like, actually, what's funny is like Oppenheimer is almost a perfect example of if Spielberg would have made those two movies together, right? Like he'd have found a way to make both those concepts work together, because that's the thing with Nolan. What he's missing is he doesn't have that relatability factor. It's very difficult to go into a Nolan movie and it feel like you're relating to it on some level. That's how Spielberg knew how to do that. Maybe not so much now.
Yeah, he could connect.
Yeah, but back in the day, especially his first 10, 15 years, he was a guy who knew how to go, I'm going to get you interested in this movie somehow, some way, and whatever it was, how he would finagle it. You know, well, it's kind of funny because I just got this in the mail today and all the talk of aliens.
Well, Christopher Nolan is very invested in having a middle-aged guy who's having a midlife crisis of some sort in every one of his movies. Not everyone relates to the midlife crisis guy.
See, because, yeah, this is the type of movie that Nolan would make, but Nolan would make it like an existential crisis movie about one of the aliens or some shit.
Well, like, he would find a more literal, scientific, and mechanical approach, because that's one of the things he did with, I mean, excluding the Prestige and his earlier stuff. He is so enthralled with the concept of reality that he doesn't build a fictional world that he tries to convince us is real.
Yeah. The closest I'd say he's done that is maybe Inception. It's closest, perhaps.
Yeah, and even then, it's still. Yeah, I would agree with that.
It just works because he's got rules in that world to where it like creates its own kind of universe in a way, or however.
Well, it's the closest thing that he has rules into. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly my point. Yeah,
you're right. It's like he does have rules. It's like the first time he kind of has rules, but they also.
That's what I mean. Like that's the only time it works is because it does feel kind of like it's its own like universe. Because that's something you and I have talked about before. You got to build your world.
And then with Tenet, he makes rules and then he breaks them constantly.
Yeah. Which can work on certain levels, but you can't. I don't know if you can do it with something that complicated, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it was too heady for even him to make work.
And that only works on a level if it's not, how do I put it? Like time travel is not a good thing to set up rules and then try and break those rules with.
Yeah.
For instance.
The fun is actually having those rules hold you back.
Exactly. And, anyway, but Tiger Valley says, after Barbie, is Warner Brothers Discovery compromised in Gunverse DOA? No. One has very little to do with the other in that respect, I'd say.
They're separate departments completely. And the other part too is, again, you may not agree with it, but it's brand defense essentially. Like there's a very good argument that there's brand defense there.
Well, and, the movie's doing well, so it doesn't matter what we say. So.
Exactly. But here's the other part too. We can only hope that level of brand defense is going to be part of the modus operandi with DC Universe, which is like Superman, and we're going to make Superman like that. If they're going to do that, then I think we're okay. Yeah. So we have to wait and see. Hopefully that'll be the case.
Yeah, that's a totally different scenario here. But like, why was Chris Nolan at the Game Awards? Who knows?
He's invited.
They bring people. It's kind of like that time they had Michael Bay at that one presentation. He's like, "Why is he even here?" And then he just walks off the stage.
Well, he was booed off.
Yeah, whatever it was like, dude, like, what the fuck? But anyway, yeah. So very interesting conversation on Bob Iger and the failure of what is Disney at this point. And yeah, I mean, we've come a long way. I'd say, Mike. Dang it, Bob. Are you getting a little Schadenfreude out of this whole thing, or?
I think he
did he step away?
Yeah, Bambino was nipping at him.
The price is wrong, Bob.
Price is wrong.
Oh yeah, the price is wrong, Bob. But
exactly.
We'll see. I mean, again, there's all this. There's the various departments within Disney Corporation that are being put up, or at least entertained to be put up for sale. So that's something to consider. That's not usually a good sign for a successful company. So I'm just very eager for the Disney earnings call. I can't wait to hear how many questions he's going to get about the writers and actors strike, if any, and how he's going to weather that with the future productions and all the windows that his studio has booked for theatrical releases that are now going to have to be delayed.
I find it all fascinating. What was the word you asked me about? Schugenhagen or what?
Schadenfreude.
Are
We
you
don't
having
have that
all
word
over?
we don't have that word in Spanish.
What would be the equivalent in Spanish? Let me think.
Enjoying the suffering of others.
Yeah, something along those lines. So basically, like, let me see here.
You know, I'm gonna. Here's the thing that I just realized. You want to hear some bad news?
Oh,
Here's some bad news. When that earnings call happens, I'm not going to be able to react to it live because I'm going to be with Max driving up and down the state of Florida that day.
Oh, cool.
Not going to Disneyland, of course.
Going to Universal.
Yep. And Gatorland. I'm taking Max to Gatorland.
Oh, cool.
I've never been to Gatorland.
See if they have a meth gator there.
Sweet.
Sure they do. They
Should I
probably
bring?
three.
What do you guys think? Should I buy some meth and take it to the gator?
Well, yeah, they'll like it.
Well, if you can't cook it in time, yeah, better to buy it.
I should ask a cop when I get there. Hey, where do I get the meth around here?
James Hurley wants to know if we think Warner's will end up with the He-Man rights. I think so. I'm not going to be surprised.
Now, if they could get She-Ra in addition to that, that'd be really cool.
That'll be the tougher one because I think that's still sitting over in Universal. That's the thing is, the rights are so convoluted. Andre and I have tried
sorting
to figure
it
it all out and sorting it out. We keep running into brick walls. People will tell us one thing, but they won't exactly say. They'll say, "Oh, well, Universal has the entertainment rights, but Mattel can still make toys." Well, like, yeah, but that doesn't mean they have the rights. So, yeah, but they can still make toys. See, that's how they'll answer things.
Is like, who can make the movie? Who can make the TV show?
Yeah, they don't answer those kind of questions. They won't. I don't know if it's because they can't or they don't want people to find out what the deal is really about. But my theory is that once the reason this movie's been bounced around by Mattel and they're so desperate to get something done is if they don't get something going sooner or later, the rights will revert back to Universal. Even if it's not the toy rights too, as far as I know, they have the entertainment rights. That is part of the deal for sure. Because there was some weird, wacky deal made with them way back in the mid-90s. Or early mid-90s anyway, like 93, 94. And since it's in that era where it's kind of shady, it's difficult to find stuff online for... we lost Steve. Where'd he go?
Oh.
Internet connection? Yeah.
Hopefully. But like, yeah, it's difficult to find stuff from that era sometimes online. So I mean, I found a few court papers and some other things here and there, but they don't really give us the answers we're looking for. And we've talked to some people in the toy industry and stuff like that. And again, that's where we get the answers of, well, they can still make toys.
Well, we're glad that a toy company was able to tell us and confirm that. I mean, Netflix also muddied up some of the rights too. So yeah, that's also a big.
Well, and that's because that was bouncing around from Sony to Netflix, and initially the Sony one, it started at Universal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken anyway, but like, yeah, and even Universal didn't want to make it at that time. Anyway, we'll see. I think Warner Brothers will pick up the rights to this, and we'll hear about something sooner or later. I just hope they start from ground up, and at this point, with our luck, they'll end up putting the same team that worked on Barbie on it.
Yep.
Because they already got Lena Dunham working on fucking Polly Pocket.
Lena Dunham needs to be excised out of Hollywood.
Exactly. Like, this is what I'm telling you. They always learn the wrong lessons.
Well, I think they were going to put Lena Dunham up there regardless.
No, but point is they're looking at the popularity of Barbie. They see it as, it's because it was so feminist and da-da-da-da-da. So they're going to try and put the uber feminist twist on Polly Pocket. Although they don't realize that the pocket that fucking Lena's going to be talking about the whole movie smells like fucking fish.
I would love it if they did a Mighty Max. That's the men's version of Polly Pocket.
It'd be more like Mighty Maxi Pad right now.
Yeah, but the cartoon that they had in the 90s was pretty grim and entertaining.
I hold no hope out for anything right now. That's just it. It'd be one thing if they learned, if we gear things towards women that women like, they'll like it. If we gear things towards men and make it the way men, then they'll like it. They won't learn that lesson.
We don't know if that's going to be the lesson learned or not. We can only pray at this point.
My point is I'm almost willing to bet that they already haven't learned that lesson script. Lena Dunham making a fucking Polly Pocket movie is almost...
Well, that's Mattel's choice, right?
I get it, but still, the point being
I'm just curious, because if it's Mattel's choice, and if they have a contract with Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers, I mean, might be the only one that could axe it if they end up sticking to their guns with regards to brand protection.
Because all those ones that were announced yesterday were a mix between Mattel and Hasbro and Parker Brothers things.
Yeah. There's a Hot Wheels one there too, right? So
Hot Wheels would be Mattel, and that we already knew about, and that's being made by J.J. fucking Abrams of all people. And I joke because watch this
on that.
Yeah, watch. I said though he actually does make this, and this is the one thing he gets right because it's just that shallow of a.
It's just that shallow of a brand.
It's
Yeah,
just a bunch of cars. There's no people. It's like
Yeah.
a bunch of little bitty, on those old tracks, those old orange tracks.
with the loop-de-loops and the jumps
The
and all that
loop-de-loops,
stuff.
yeah, just for like 2 hours of that, which I've seen really fun videos already on YouTube doing that. So he'll still be ripping off somebody. He'll probably just.
Oh,
do
I'm
that.
sure he'll just
He'll hire
add
the guy
some
who
lens
did that.
flare clobby. That's all.
Yeah,
Yes.
all over the
He'll
track.
add some lens flare. He'll hire the guys that makes those videos, and there you go, Hot Wheels 2 hours. Yeah, no characters, but hey, it didn't stop from DC from having a comic back in the 60s. So,
Yeah, but things are already a mess with He-Man just because, like Script pointed out, with She-Ra, which is its own set of issues. So, yeah, unfortunately, no matter what we get right now, Motu will not connect with She-Ra, most likely, anyway.
I like turtles.
I like turtles too, Mike. But I don't know if I'm going to like these turtles that we're going to get.
might not like these turtles.
I'm going to be with you, Tom. If there's ever somebody that needs to go to the movies with you for any particular property, I'd rather it be me if it's going to suck.
You know what? I'm thinking
way
about going
dirty.
and seeing if somebody bought the seat next to me and buy it for you. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of that, that reminds me, there's this deal I think that AMC has right now that if you buy 4 tickets, you save $30. So for like $3 more than what he would normally pay for a ticket, this guy bought 4 tickets and now he's got 3 seats around him where you don't have to worry about nobody bothering him.
Alternatively,
So I'm thinking about going, like, wait a minute.
Oh, that's just putting more money into the movie in the theater as a buy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it's like $7 something a ticket, and if you buy 4 tickets, you save $30. So he ends up paying like $11 for 4 seats, but he's got 3 empty seats around him. So
That's gonna really skewer the numbers.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the sad part is that means it's registered as 4 tickets, but I see what you did there, sir. Clever. You know,
you could just move down here where nobody goes to the movie anyway, like I do on opening day, and there's like nobody in the theater. Then you're fine.
well, Clobby, I mean, I don't know if you're planning on it or not, or if you saw it in the chat group, but Saturday they're having a sneak peek at the movie in certain theaters around the country. So if you're able to go see it Saturday and join us, we'd love to have you join us because I know you're a
I
comic book
appreciate that.
fan
I've
too. So
I've never really been much of a Turtles guy. It must have been I was too old for it. When it
all
came
right,
out.
well that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm
I
already
bought them
sad
for my
that-
nephews though.
Yeah, Nick has already dodged the bullet.
I'm
so
sorry. I shouldn't
he's
say
like-
solidarity. I should.
you know, I wonder because I don't know if it's showing up at all on the sneak preview in Canada script. I was gonna say, I wonder if I just stream it to you through like.
You're just gonna like bring your phone and then just stream it.
Fuck it, nobody's gonna be there.
Yeah, if that works out, do it.
There was like 3 seats sold when I bought mine. I shit you not.
Are you serious?
I am dead fucking serious.
I wasn't even able to select my seats. Mine just shows that I have reserved seating and my tickets still aren't in my account, but in my charges, but they took my money.
Huh. You didn't get to pick your seats? That's
No.
weird.
It's weird.
It's pretty rare.
Mm.
Rare. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, rare, yeah.
I think it's because they don't know what theater they're gonna put it in yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What if they're gonna do what they did to me with Sound of Freedom?
Which was
Put you in the
Dude, I
back.
showed up to Sound of Freedom and they gave me this. Okay, this is the theater I go to all
okay,
the time.
so this is the story I haven't heard yet. That's why I didn't get the joke. Okay, please tell me the short version at least.
No, I'm gonna give you the Tom Connors 4-hour Barbie.
I don't care. Give it to me. We got time.
So you know the theater that I go to most often, not the large premium format, not the 4DX, the one that's like literally right by my house where I know the assistant manager. Okay, I go to this theater literally 2 to 4 times a month, every month, like clockwork, almost weekly, sometimes
I
twice
can
a
vouch
week.
for that. Yeah.
Okay, you know, Tom, because you're like, where are you? I'm like, well, I'm at the movies.
At the
That's-
movies.
I can't
yeah.
do my toxic femme. I'm like, you tell me. I'm already at the movies. Anyway, so I go there and I look at my and I choose my seats. Get my popcorn, get my hot dog, get my Slurpee, like I always do. Same, or I get nachos, but whatever. Anyway, so I got all my stuff and I'm looking. And I'm looking around. I'm like, I see the theater number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, what's this number? Fucking 11. Turns out there's this theater that I've never been in. That's all the way in the back, literally behind like where they take deliveries, where they put Sound of Freedom. It's a small little theater. I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea it even existed, and I thought I'd been at every theater within the cinematic complex because I go all the time. I walk in and like I go to back, I'm like, is that it? And I see the little number on the door. I'm like, oh, that's it. I open the door, it was fucking packed. But
of course,
but it was just all the way in. It was just all the way in the back, and and the seats a little. I sat down in the seat that I got, and it was like a little creaky. And you could tell it's probably like one of the first theaters they built, and one of the first theater rooms they built, and the only one that had never been refurbished, like that kind of thing. Well, I had no idea.
So they put you in a ghetto closet, basically.
Dude, totally. It was the East San Jose Mexican cinema.
In the closet. There's so many of those theaters have those little tiny ones, and yes.
Wow.
It was packed though. The only seats were in the front row. There were scattered seats in row 2, and row 1 had like.
Yeah, you can't keep this movie down. I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, I was shocked.
I actually thought about buying tickets to Sound of Freedom and sneaking into Barbie. If Barbie hadn't have been so packed, because then I was just going to be afraid that like we get overpacked and be like, okay, so there's some people in here who are in here and who don't have tickets. And then they start asking everybody for tickets, and that'd be our luck. But no, like
no tickets.
Could have, should have done it, but
no, I don't blame you. You're better off.
2 tickets aren't gonna make a big fucking difference. So whatever. Anyway, end of the story is Mikey didn't get to see the movie in a decent theater, but he got to see it in a closet with a rat named Paul, or was it Frank? I don't know. But they became good friends, and they hang out now on the weekends. So, and he likes the squirrel. They're friends.
I like turtles.
He likes turtles.
I like turtles.
No, I'm glad you got to see the movie though, brother, and I'm glad you. I hate using the term enjoy it. You thought it was a good movie.
It was nothing of what everything I feared. I going in, I had a lot of trepidation. Like I had to say, you're gonna go see this movie no matter what you're gonna go see, and everything I feared that it wasn't, and all of my apprehensions and stress about it as a dad, as this or that, went out the window. It is one of the most amazing movie-going experiences I've had in the last, I don't know, decade.
Yes, it really is.
And welcome back, Steve.
I know.
That's no problem, brother. He said he's apologizing in the background. No worries. We figured you just had a net problem or something come up or whatever. So, but we're glad to have you back. We're actually going to be probably wrapping it up here pretty soon, because we've run out of things to talk about. But is there any neat projects that you've been working on lately, Steve, that you want to tease or anything?
There's no projects in the works yet with that Gary and I are doing. We're kind of at a standstill a little bit, not because of SAG strikes or any of all that stuff, but I started
Gary's
Lego
on strike,
build.
so
I know, right? Gary,
it's like I refuse to act.
I do a Lego build during the weekend sometimes, and so
that's cool.
Every once in a while, I'll do a little Lego build. But I'm taking a little break because I spent like 6.5 hours one night doing the DeLorean time machine. I was like, I need a break. Can't do 6 hours.
The Lego or the
Lego, yeah, the actual Lego time,
yeah. I bought my kid that, and then he cannibalized it into several other. I'm like, dude, you realize how much that cost?
Dude, it's But yeah, there's not anything right now, but I'm sure there's gonna be something that pops up late at night. Watch, Gary will text me. He'll be like, I got this great idea. So I did come up. I told Gary this last week when we were doing the Snow White talk. I text Gary and Andy. I was like, I got a trailer idea when we were talking about Snow White. And they're all like, I don't know, man. I was like, come on. We made me go drag for Indiana Jones 5. We can do this. So, but yeah, there's nothing big going on yet.
All right. Well, I always look forward to you guys' videos, even if I don't get to join you guys on Wednesday nights. It's always fun to get to see the parodies that you guys get to do, and their top top-notch quality because you guys, of course, know what you're doing, and it's neat to see what you guys pull off with.
Thank you. Yeah,
with what you got.
There's
there.
a lot of work that goes into
Let's
it.
say, let me try and bring one up here. I want to see. I really liked some of them. What's the one I really dug? The Creep Show one, and the Planet of the Apes one was pretty good. Let me see here. Whose channel are they on? Yours or are they on Gary's?
They're gonna be on Gary's. My favorite is still the trailer for Halloween that we did. That is probably one of my favorites.
Okay, I can show that. If you got the link for me, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it here.
Get it real quick.
Yeah. Otherwise, I might be able to find it here. I got his channel up here. See who finds it first.
Find it.
Oh yeah, you guys did that Lost Boys thing too. That was pretty neat.
Dude, that was a fun one.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You got it yet?
Oh,
which one?
Here it is.
Okay, here we go. Sorry guys, we were not prepared for this, but that's all right.
No, you're good, man. All good. I'm just enjoying this conversation.
Okay, here we go. So this is like 4 minutes long, so that's cool. Bring it up here, as long as Gary doesn't nail us.
No, he won't.
But here you go, guys. This is pretty funny. Nice Jaws shirt.
I know. I had to hide it. We would have had a copyright.
Star Wars. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah.
We actually made all those.
Yeah, with like styrofoam or.
Yeah, it was like some. No. That was good. That was plywood.
Why aren't you watching the show, Steve?
Oh, wow.
I'm the bestest Subscribe, Steve. Don't be an incel. Next season will be better, we promise.
Franchises of the living dead.
Wow. This is incredible.
Yeah, these guys do great stuff.
Yeah.
There's Gary.
The soap.
What's going on? What's happening?
Listen to me. You better figure out what you're gonna do, because they're never gonna stop making these things. You're gonna keep making them over and over and over and over again. Sequels and remakes of sequels. What are you gonna do, Steve? You better figure out which side you're on. You better figure out how to stop these things.
I don't know.
You better get angry, Steve. You better stay angry.
Forced to make a decision between what is good and what is diverse, inclusive, and equitable. They know what you want, and they don't care. They know what you despise, and they will deliver. They're coming for your wallet, and they won't stop.
You're not watching, Steve.
It's time to fucking tenderize.
You're not subscribed, Steve. If you don't watch us, you're sexist.
Now, witness the nightmare that is
Nice.
franchises
Yeah.
of the living dead.
Excellent.
Rated
Excellent.
R, violence and nudity.
Thank you. If you guys didn't notice, in the trailer that we did, oh my gosh, that was, I think, 3 days of filming in like a week of just trying to get, like, we always decide, hey, if we're gonna do a big project like that video was like the big one that we did for last year. We're like, we're going to start in September. Well, when you're building something and you're getting everything ready to film, that goes by so fast, and we just cram everything. We're filming at 3 a.m. Like in the Indiana Jones 5 trailer that we did, we were done at about like almost 4 a.m. We were tired.
Wow.
And we're like, we gotta get this done. We never time it out. We never schedule it out perfect.
Right.
But if you notice in that trailer, they had the we had the movie prop that I have is the Evil Dead chainsaw.
Oh,
and we
the
put the
actual
hammer
one?
right
Wow.
above it. No one catches that. I'm like, you guys didn't see the Evil Dead, and then the big knife. That's the Rambo, I think 5 knife in it, and little Easter eggs. So that was a fun one. I really enjoyed that one.
Well, why don't you grab me the link for the indie one while I show the other one I was mentioning earlier. This is the if Steve can hold his breath.
Steve, this is phenomenal, by
Dude,
the way.
this one, oh god.
For those who have seen Creep Show, we'll get this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, didn't you guys film this in the same beach they did Planet of the Apes on, or something like that? Wasn't Gary saying?
No, it's we just found a place that was
It looked just
that
like
looked-
it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I did a shot that pretty much looked like it.
Gary.
And I was
I love that
underwater.
expression.
We were
Sorry,
underwater in the ocean at the end of this one. It was crazy.
Yeah, you guys are not gonna believe this. This is crazy.
Let her rip. Let her rip.
Oh yeah. Hi. You know, I've been thinking, and I'm gonna give you a choice. You can stay here, or you can watch Rings of Power.
Oh god.
That is a masterpiece.
There you go.
Great. He was actually underwater for that.
Let me see if I can
What?
find the Indiana Jones one here.
Gary told me you were actually underwater for that.
Yeah,
he
we
was.
actually scuba dived,
Oh, I got it
and
here.
I had to put the tank between my legs so I could sit on it so it could hold me down. And all he said was breathe in as much air and then just let it all out. The first shot we did, I thought I was about to drown because I've never done that before. And we went back up and he's like, you want to do it a couple more times? I was like, let's do it like 4 or 5 times. Let's do it. And we did probably about maybe 5-6 different takes of it. It was probably the most dangerous stunt I've ever done because I have
Wow.
to take it out, put everything under we
Right.
made a platform for it. And I was like, geez, man, I'm done. The crazy things we do.
All right, well, we're gonna send this off with the Indiana Jones one you were just talking about, and it was requested in the chat. So here we go.
Karen Kennedy, Frank Marshall, and not Steven Spielberg are bringing you the bestest adventure ever. Witness the return of a legend.
All right, I'm ready. One more time.
Let's do this.
Oh my god.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Density. Witness the excitement as Fleabag and Indy travel back in time to fix toxic masculinity.
God, he looks a lot like fucking Harrison Ford there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish you guys could hear this in stereo because it sounds great too. You guys did great sound design on this stuff too.
This is the most ridiculous shot.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's the real deal right there.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet. They're like the walker.
Yeah. Not even wrong.
They're teaming up to stop free market capitalism.
Love the Trek sound effects.
Yeah, I really wish you guys could hear this in stereo, man.
Oh, God.
I have one of those. Gary sent me one.
Oh, yeah, the Shankara Stone. It's cool.
Kalima.
Molarum, Sularum, Molarum, Molarum.
This was shot at 2 a.m.
Oh, God.
Not just another sequel, but an update with diversity.
I like how Roshi looked like Biden right there at the ice cream.
Yeah, look at Vasquez rocks.
Fleabag. Let me go.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
There's a new archaeologist in town. Don't miss Indiana Jones and the Dial of Density. Unless you hate women.
Oh, good job, guys. Good job. I haven't got to see that one yet.
You haven't seen that one yet?
No, I haven't got a chance. That's the first time I saw that. Yeah.
Oh man, it's there's so we kind of was like thinking what would be the next video, and we both kind of came up with this idea of let's do an Indiana Jones type thing. You like it? It looks dumb, the new one, and even Gary said who's gonna play Fleabag? So I was like, I'll do it, and we oh man, we made fun of Dylan. I was like, I'll have a mustache because it would be way more crazy, but that was such a fun filming. I'm in tears still. I've seen that thing probably like, oh man, 50 times, and I just it cracks me up. And then he told me because he's seen Indiana Jones 5, and a bunch of people who've seen this trailer and that seen the movie, they say you guys were pretty spot on.
Yes, you were
with everything. So it's a little weird. We filmed it like 4 months before the movie actually came out. So people thought, did you guys really work on Indiana Jones 5? Because you guys are way too close to it.
That
was awesome.
Amazing to watch. All those videos we watched were excellent. I just subbed because that was like, I mean, you've earned it and then some. That was incredible. I don't know how you're at 2 or 3K. That to me is criminal after what we just watched.
So
Seriously,
guys, do
take a
check out
comment.
his channel. Yeah, indeed.
So any of the stuff that we film, it'll be on Gary's channel. I think we have Mexican Iron Man's birthday video on there. That one's fun. But yeah, we have all kinds of random ideas that we do. So I always end up doing crazy, stupid stunts. That's what's gonna happen. So.
Well, thank you for hopping on the program tonight and
Yeah,
sharing
definitely.
your videos with us. We appreciate it. And is there anything else you want to plug before we head on out of here, Steve?
I do a show every Thursday on Rumble at Rancor Steve, Manorama, and tonight we're talking about cooking. And then I think next week we're gonna do an episode on 80s movies that we love. It's a show that helps men or guys to be better men in today's society because you don't get that much anymore. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of entertaining. We all bust everyone's balls on the show. It's a lot of fun. So I think Snowdub's going to be on there. There's going to be a few people that you guys know that's going to be on there. So it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
So that starts at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Cool. So yes, don't forget that Entertainment Earth is now one of our sponsors here at Midnight's Edge. I actually picked this bad boy up. Look at this.
Wow.
A quarter
Is that from the
scale.
McFarlane line? Oh,
It's
Brandon.
NECA quarter scale Batman 1989 figure. So this will be the same size as my Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
So I'll be able to fight with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That's a big bastard. So there you go. The link is in the chat if you guys want to check out that Batman 89 figure, a quarter scale. That's right. That means it's like 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
With 20 points of articulation. There you go, guys. That's a huge toy.
Huge.
Awesome. And I can tell you, I got the big Ninja Turtles, the NECA ones. Those are great. They're awesome. The quality and the design on them is just spot on. But CC, anything you got coming up you want to plug?
Two things. Friday night karaoke as usual with Mr. Tom Connors, and Culture Casino is planning on joining this weekend if he can get some sleep. You know, it's late for him.
So it'll be karaoke casino.
Yeah, with all those fancy shirts. It's always entertaining. And then on Saturday, the inaugural episode of CC's Music Television, which I've been working really, really hard on it, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you want to speaking of things that get buried in the internet that are really, really great, like Rancor Steve, you're one of the most you're just amazing talent, and it's really tough to break through on the internet, as we all know. So I'm trying to do that with music and promote artists who have incredible talent who should be at the top of the charts in any era, but you know it's tough to break through. So that's the plan there.
Awesome.
Well, you'll be like the new Tarzan Dan, CC.
Script Doctor, what do you got going on?
Just writing reviews for the Patreon right now. Trying to get through them as efficiently as I can for everyone. And then that's about it.
Awesome sauce. Kalabby, anything you got going on?
Well, at about an hour and a half, 9 Central, the Thursday night's Kalabby's Clubhouse with, of course, my wonderful first officer, Raquel Briggs, and their good buddy, Mark D with the C, the usual there. And tomorrow night, a couple different places, my buddy J-Man's channel, reviewing a Superman comic. And then, of course, over with Nick and the Comic Shop Gang. And then this Saturday night Star Trek, as usual, reviewing. We're now just started out reviewing Voyager. God help us.
Yeah. Speaking of Nick, what do you got going on, my friend? I'm sure you're going to be on the Thursday night Throwdown tonight. I'll probably join in.
Yes, in less than an hour and a half, TNT Comics Division channel. Meanwhile, I've just been posting videos every few days on my channel, and so check those out. And I've got a few more that'll come. Of course, we'll be covering the Conan comic next week that comes out. Tomorrow night, Comic Shop Talk. And Toxic Tuesday will be back August 9th. Remember that, August 9th, where we talk Hard Target with Mr. John Claude Van Damme. So until then.
Van Damme.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, come check out my channel if you somehow have not. And thank you for being here listening to us chat. And a pleasure to meet Rancor Steve and to Beaver's Unit, all the other wrenches. Thank you for your wrench service. And to the panel, have a magical evening.
Indeed. And Mikey, anything you want to plug? No. Okay,
I like turtles.
Well, I know you like turtles. Have you heard my new song that's safe for CMT yet?
Uh-oh.
Go.
Uh-oh.
Take me out.
All right. That's it. Tom goes country. I'll wake up in the morning just like the rest. But today I wish I could grow some breasts. So I visit my doctor and they them told me, hey, no problem, I can give you a pussy. Oh yeah, won't you fuck my love bucket, baby? I'm a lesbian, can't you see? And I can shame and cancel you if you reject me, 'cause I'm totally brave and sturdy. I traded in my truck for an electric car, oh yeah, 'cause otherwise the planet won't get far. I turned in my guns and I saved a seal, 'cause I tell you, brother, global warming is real, yeah. Oh, and my high pistol is just making it worse. Trust me when I say that the gun is a curse. It keeps killing people left and right. One day, maybe we'll stop it and we'll win. We'll win the fight. Oh yeah, oh, but that's okay if you want to be gay or bi or queer and drink Bud Light beer. I see you, you matter. I hear you, yeah. Now will you please stop misgendering me? Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh well, won't you fuck my love bucket, baby? I wanna be a lesbian, can't you see? And I can shame and cancel you if you reject me, 'cause I'm totally brave and fucking stunning. I'm brave and brave, so brave and stunning. There you go. I think that can be played on all CMT all day. It's brave and stunning. I don't think there's anything objectionable in that song at all. None whatsoever. Oh, thank you.
Is it stunning and brave though?
It's brave and stunning and
Or
brave.
not brave, not so both. Oh, both ways. Okay.
Both ways. It
Good,
goes both
sure.
ways. Sorry, I had to shut it off there. It, for some reason, keeps looping, even though I have the loop thing off. But anyway, so there you go, guys. Hopefully, you enjoyed the safe song for CMT. That's right.
Indeed.
It is. It's bound to be a hit. I guarantee it. What'd you think, Mikey?
I like it. It makes me want to cuddle up with the Southern Belle.
Was it brave and stunning?
Yeah, I like it. Makes me want to cuddle up with the cowgirl.
What do you think, Steve? Was it brave and stunning for you?
Oh, I loved it, man. Yeah. Oh man, they should have this playing every day. 24 hours.
I want to find out who they them doctor is so I can get a pussy. Do you realize how many men I could manipulate if I had a pussy? Except for Mike, because I wouldn't be married.
At 3 in the morning, you're like,
If I had a pussy, I could rule the world. Pussy, weed, and alcohol. Yes. It's glorious. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And with that, we're going to wrap this up. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, we'll see you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I got molested in a little boy's room.
My Beaver's Unit sends him $2 and says, please tell me about it. What are we talking about? What are we telling her about?
What that guy said.
How you can take over the world.
Or is that, or she's getting molested in the little boy's room?
I wonder which.
I hope not.
yeah.
I wonder which.
It's a nice breaker conversation.
Please tell me about it. What are we telling you about Beaver's Unit? You have to reiterate. The pussy? Oh well, it's warm, it's wet, it's inviting, and it's clean. I made sure. The weed is not so good here in Wisconsin because it's not legal yet. And the alcohol, well, that we've got the best around, especially if you like beer. So that's right. We make Miller beer here. So there you go. Thank you so much, though, Beaver's Unit, for the last minute super chat.
Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm trans.